No, you can rock out however you want to rock out. But if you want to be formal, you can be formal. But you can rock out however you want to rock out. I'm in it, bro. I'm interviewing my bros, bro. Like, what you expect me to do? Just Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Visual Intonations Podcast. Sean Woods, a Florida-born and Atlanta-based cinematographer, photographer, and business owner, and also a good friend of mine, will be our guest on this episode. We talk about everything from growing up in Florida to the creative process and so much more. Enjoy. Cool. My boy Sean.
What we got?
Dang. First off, I want to say appreciate you for coming on to this podcast. It's dope. Been a long time coming. People have been telling me to do like a film podcast for years. And then when I met you and when I met Joel and when I met like other people in the industry,
Yeah.
I'm like, somebody has to be like the conduit to kind of like put Black filmmakers on, you know what I'm saying, and just interview us and stuff like that. But I want to take it back from like the beginning. Being from Florida, man, that's what we first talked about. Like being from Florida, like
right.
How is it growing up in Florida, man? Because you know we get a lot of flack about being like Floridians and stuff.
I don't know why, man. I don't know why. It's like we're just trying to be, okay? Like,
right.
I don't know why we're getting flat.
We get so much flack, bro. Like I don't understand. Like I just don't understand. Like
Same.
It's Florida, you know what I'm saying? It's just we chasing rabbits, you know what I'm saying? We eating good barbecue.
Hey, look, I'm about to say Joel. Vontae take him straight to the country.
Right.
Chasing rabbits. This guy.
But how was it for you? Like how was it growing up in Florida?
I mean, I feel like, you know, during the time I was growing up, man, even though it probably didn't feel like it was dope, you know, at the time of being a kid, because, you know, when you're a kid, you always like, dang, I want to be an adult, or I want to be older and grown and all this other good stuff. But easily looking back on that time, I feel like it was an amazingly dope time in the world.
Right.
From a personal perspective, I feel like it was it was just a childhood, man.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't like this. I don't know. I'm trying not to have the
sound washed. Back in my day.
Yeah. I don't want to have a typical cliche growing up type of thing, but you know, I mean, it was Daytona Beach, Florida. You know, so shout out to Daytona, shout out to DB, Volusia County. I'm a little throwback. You know, the area code 3869. I remember when it used to be 904.
Right.
You know? So it's a little bit of a throwback thing, but I think even in the, you know, situation that it was when I was growing up as a kid, as in not being able to do everything, you know, I still wasn't a kid that didn't get a chance to do anything. You know, so you know, I still got a chance to experience, you know, I know about the summer programs, the rec programs, the rec leagues, playing all the sports and stuff like that. Everything all the way down to, you know, getting in trouble, egging people cars and houses, and you know, playing curb ball. I don't even know if kids even know about curb ball, that type of thing. And, you know, sitting on the little electrical unit that be between the houses and stuff like that. You know, I mean, I know about that type of stuff growing up, spending the night at friends' house, and now whatever they chores on Saturday mornings are your chores too, because they company, you know. So I remember that, you know, getting whoopers in elementary elementary school still, you know. So I feel like it was a different, you know, day and age, other than what it is now that we know as kids growing up. So I don't know, man. From my perspective, I feel like it still was something that was dope.
Right. So is that like how you find your love for AV stuff? Because I know like we talked about that like earlier. I feel like we had that. You were like raised in the church, correct?
Yeah.
You did like the audio stuff like in the church and stuff like that, the soundboard and stuff. So that was another thing. Like I feel like it was either we did sports or you did like you had to do something in the church. Like,
Yeah.
had to like be on the boards.
Oh yeah,
like bass and stuff like that. Like that was a huge thing. Like I have like a bunch of homies back home that are like, yeah, like I did like the soundboard in church. I'm like, you was like 10 years old, you know?
Look, same. But I mean, but you already know, growing up, that's how it was. It was like, so what you 10, so what you 11, so what you 12. You know, you're doing something.
Right.
Hey, you're doing something and you know how to do plenty, you know. So yeah, man, I don't even remember how old I was. I want to say I was in like 7th grade when I got into the whole music industry thing, you know, and bro, dang man, it made me feel so old talking about this and even think about it. This is like back in the day when you had to dub the tapes and stuff. You know, we had a tape dubbing machine, and you put it was like a master, master recording, and you put the blank, you know, cassettes and the rest of it. We had like this one that only could dub 3 at a time. But it was like after every service we had to dub like 25. You know, you literally sitting there running the system. Bruh, and then back then it was like you ain't had no cell phone to you know to keep time on or to play a video game or to you know get on Twitter or Instagram, none of that. So it was like kind of just you know chilling while you dubbing 25 tapes after church. And then you know as the years progressed, so did technology and equipment at the church as well. So you know did
y'all have like the CD maker at y'all church too?
What church didn't,
bro?
You know? Bro, you had like, what you mean? Matter of fact, bro, if you had the CD duplicating machine,
you had money,
bro. You was bougie, bro. Wait, y'all could duplicate more than one.
Bro, you have money, bro. You have money. Bro.
Yeah. So it's like the church eventually started doing that because I clearly just told you about a cassette duplicator, bro. So you know this was before the CDs and stuff was made up. And yeah, when CDs got introduced, I never forget, bro. Like the old folks was like looking at you like you was cursing in church, trying to tell them to get a CD. You know, I want the tape. You know, you know. I even remember, bro. We had to print out labels off the computer to put on the side of the cassette, so they knew what sermon it was, bro. It'd be like the sermon name, the pastor name, and the date.
And the telephone number, any address to the church, bro. And don't let you have like a logo on.
Bro, listen, you probably said the most important stuff. Forget who was preaching. You didn't put that church information on there. Oh, bro. Hey, look, they might be mad at you for the rest of the month, bro.
For sure, bro.
You definitely you forgot to put the church name and the address and phone number on the labels, bro. Just know you're not on duplicating duty the next week.
No, you out.
They mad at you. They mad at you. You off, man. So
you at least have to have like at least 20 like already primed and like prepped to go and stuff like that.
Gotta be ready to go, bro. And don't forget, it's gonna be somebody auntie or somebody that's waiting after the service on their cassette, bro. So it's like, I mean, Vontae didn't usually take this long, Sean. Vontae printed his labels early, like all of this. You know, so yeah, bro. I remember those days, man. And then, you know, like I said, as technology progressed, it actually ended up giving me an opportunity to learn a lot more when it became, you know, media related. Because I mean, growing up, I played drums already. You know,
you played drums too?
yeah, man. I played drums, so it's like I want to say my mom got me like a drum set when I was I don't know, I might have been like 4 or 5 or something.
Right.
As I got older, you know, started being in band, and this is back. Elementary band wasn't really band. It was like
one snare. If they had the quad, then I mean,
Look, we didn't even have no quad or nothing like that. That was like middle school talk. Elementary for us was like music class. You had a recorder. You remember the little recorder you had? They taught you how to read sheet music and stuff. It was like that type of life. And then, you know, we might have got like one drum snare. It was a concert snare, you know, that type of thing
and stuff like that.
Yeah. We thought it was the best thing ever. And then by the time I got in middle school, you know, that's when I started doing marching band. But you still back then we had to do, if you couldn't only do marching band, you had to do concert band too and stuff like that. Like they ain't play them games. It's like, oh,
you got to read music.
We had rudiment tests every Friday. Bro, it was like at a young age, they was like, it didn't feel like it back then. It felt like they was being nagging, you know, but at a young age, they was preparing you for like the future of being competitive, you know, trying to make sure you could do multiple things other than just playing the drum. You know,
Right.
be able to read music. Oh,
Mhm.
look, you know what? We're gonna do rudiment tests every Friday and
Right.
put you in chairs. And
Mhm.
we actually, I don't know how y'all had, but we actually had chairs, had seats.
Right.
You
Mhm.
know, so depending on who did the best rudiments on Friday and knew
Right.
what the band director was calling out,
Mhm.
you might have went from fifth chair to first chair. You know,
Right.
and it was nothing like being in first chair and we weren't even playing on drums. You was on a drum pad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was the most competitive thing
Right.
ever, bro. And don't drop a stick or something like, oh,
No, you was out. You was
bro,
done.
oh,
You couldn't.
you was clown
Yeah,
for
you was
life.
calm.
Yeah. So then in church I used to double duty. I would play the drums and literally as soon as praise and worship over,
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta put the sticks down, run to the back of the church, go into the
Dang.
media booth and make sure the microphones and stuff ready,
Right,
bro.
right.
So yeah, it used to get it was a lot going on, but I mean the more and more I talk about it and think about it out loud, bro, it didn't seem like nothing far from the normal.
No,
It's kind of like,
we were definitely underpaid. You
bro,
know.
bro, underpaid, not paid at all.
Yeah, right.
Bro,
Child labor
look,
laws is like not in
bro,
the
they paid you. Look, we was paid in prayer, bro. Get out
bro.
of here.
Paid in prayer and them
Paid in
like
prayer,
them little knee spot cookies. You know.
bro. Paid in prayer, bro. Look, paid in prayer. And the only other thing about having that type of pull back then, bro, it was like you could just kind of walk around whenever, bro. And nobody questioned it. Everybody else getting up, they kind of like, bro. It's like, why you working around? I gotta adjust the audio.
Yeah, I
Look,
gotta go.
stay up here I could stay up here with the organ player and the
Right.
keyboardist and stuff, but I don't know who's gonna turn the mic on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, I stay up here. So
Right.
you had an all-time hall pass in church type thing.
Sure.
So and then by the time middle school hit, and high school hit, the church started expanding. They got like a different building. They started getting like cameras.
Right.
And, so that was real cool. And then at the time, the first lady, she used to be a producer at a big news station
Oh, that's wild.
back in the city. So, bro,
Wow.
she used to like really do this.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the only reason the church even tried to move forward and be like, yo, we're gonna get these cameras she telling us to get, and we're gonna get this production room set up that she's
Right.
do. Because I mean, she lived this life. That's what she did every day, was
That's
producing
wild.
news. So yeah. So back then, man, like I said, it just was kind of like, I need some big old cameras, and why do we need
Right.
this? I don't know about wearing no headset so I can
Right.
talk to people. She introduced me to a lot of that stuff early in life. But once again, as a kid, if I'm keeping it all the way 100, it was like the way out of what everybody else had to do at church.
Right, for sure.
It's like, hold on, so let me get this right. I could just kind of chill over here and be with these cool cameras and stuff like that and do some cool stuff, and started doing it with her, and lo and behold, bro, it was like fell in love with it.
Right.
And then
Then you went to FAMU.
Yeah. After high school, ended up going to FAM, and then
You were known as
Sean D back on the radio. Yeah. I was
Seanville. Yeah, Seanville Radio, right?
Yeah, Seanville, man. I ain't know you know about Seanville. That's crazy. Yeah, Seanville Radio.
Yeah. Well, you had braids, ain't it?
Yeah, they had braids then, man. So yeah, dang man, yeah, you throwing so much stuff at me right now. It's like, dang, my mind is everywhere. But yeah, FAMU, I was able to be on the radio, 90.5 FM in Tallahassee. It was a college radio station, man. But
right.
Yo, if nothing else made me love, music and the art and just being in media, man, 90.5 really like ignited a whole lot of stuff in me, within me then, because, you was a different age then, you pretty much on the cusp of being like an adult, what it's like you paying all your bills and stuff. So I learned a ton then, man, and even got a chance to start dealing with like real clients that was coming in spending real money with the station.
What was your worst client story like on the station? What was that?
Worst client story at the station?
Yeah. You ain't got to get the name of the artist, but
oh yeah, no, never.
Yeah. I know you.
I mean, I don't know what probably the worst thing is, but I tell you one thing that always stood out to me, and it was just the craziest thing ever, man. And it's crazy because we just was talking about church. So 90.5, it isn't just a hip hop station. It isn't just jazz. It isn't just
Right.
gospel. It isn't just reggae. Like
Mhm.
you play a plethora of music. So
Right.
morning time is the gospel show from like 6 a.m. to 10, then from 10 to 1 p.m. is jazz, from 1 to 4
Mhm.
p.m. is old school,
Right.
4 to 7 and 7 to 10, and like 10 to midnight was always hip hop and R&B, or
Mm.
kind of like slow music by the time 10 to 1 a.m. Show
Right.
hit.
Quiet
So
storm.
once I got into a management position, bruh, I, the church folk gonna hate me, but
Right.
I never forget, bro. It was like every week, if I didn't get cursed out, and yes, I meant cursed out. If I didn't get cursed out by anybody, bro, it was always some church folk, bro.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I used to be in the office like, damn, why do church people give me the most
The most
pressure?
hell.
It's like, or if it was time for them to like buy spots, what were we didn't call
Right.
them spots, we call them underwriting.
Right.
It's pretty much kind of like a commercial without, all the call to actions.
Right.
So, man, the church people would call it to do underwriting spots, and it's like we would have a person who handles that, right?
Mhm.
They will always be like, I need to speak to Sean, I need to speak to the supervisor, I want to
Mhm.
speak to the manager. And I get on the phone, it's like, what do they want, Vontae? It's like, hey, do we have a problem with anything? Like, what's going on? I know you want to
Right.
talk to me. Sean, listen, if I'm buying 20 spots, I feel like y'all need to give me 20. Um,
How it works.
wait, so what are you getting at? I feel like I should pay for 20, and y'all should, since we the church people doing stuff through the church and stuff like that, y'all should
Right.
y'all should match what we doing.
Mhm.
Okay, is that how it's supposed to go? Like,
Right.
so it was like week in and week out, man. They would give me pressure, man. I was like,
Right.
dang, I never understood it, but I was just like,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
but yeah, I wouldn't call them a bad client. It was dope that we had clients, but I don't know why when you said that was like the thing that popped out, because I just always remember week to week. I always knew, okay, it's gonna
Right.
be somebody from a church that's gonna call me and give me some pressure about something. So
Mhm. Pressing.
that was just like
Pressing.
more of a most memorable thing than a
Mhm.
bad thing.
Were you doing photography at the same time? Did you pick up the
Um,
camera at the same time?
yeah, I was kind of, dipping dabbling in that space.
Mhm.
Even younger as a kid, man, it was like I would always be trying to take pictures and mess around with
Mhm.
cameras and stuff.
Mhm.
But it never was something like I was like, I want to be a photographer.
Right.
I never was thinking from that perspective. And even all the way up to starting, my company, I never
Mhm.
was like, I want to be a photographer,
Right.
and I feel like even now today, I still don't. I'm not this person that's trying to paint myself as the best, most wide known photographer in America type thing.
Right.
If I'm being totally transparent, I got into the space, um, more so because of the clients and stuff I was dealing with.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
my degree is in public relations, and when I tried to venture out and do my own thing and try to team up with some folks, man, it was like everybody was dropping the ball.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's like, dang, I don't promise this client that we're gonna do photos for them. Are we gonna make their logo? Are we gonna do
Mhm.
this?
Mhm.
I ain't had no money back then to be like, oh, let me just hire somebody real quick.
Right.
There wasn't
Mhm.
no Fiverr back then. I couldn't jump on Fiverr for $5
Yo.
and do it. It's like, yo, we're gonna figure out how to make this thing work.
Actually, yeah.
So it started being that, man, and picked up a camera, and lo and behold, I just did it. I've always been this person that's been pretty savvy with making stuff look like something.
Yeah.
So it's like, even
Clearly,
even
clearly,
when
the
it's
people
like I
gonna see in the
just
video. People gonna see in the video. I'm like, this is very amazing.
it's
Meanwhile,
like
we're gonna talk about that later. As far as like your
but
business
look,
is
it's like
dormant, but
it's
like, yeah,
even when I started stuff, just off rip, and it wasn't anything behind it, wasn't no
right.
crazy website, wasn't no clients,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't any money,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a ton of followers. I still was always good with having a presence from a
Right.
visual perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
always been this person that can kind of, put things together. You give me the
Right.
smallest of the smallest stuff, and I still say, okay, hey, this is gonna be the biggest of the smallest things we're gonna
Right.
do.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, so I feel like from that perspective, it always kind of, I don't want to say gave me a leg up, but at the end of the day, when you're doing business, people always buy with their eyes first.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And if they see stuff and it don't look like nothing, then they think off top that, is this really worth it? You
Right.
know, but
Mm-hmm.
if somebody, but even the people who can't afford stuff that looks very nice and is quote unquote called lavish life and stuff like that, they still kind of yearn to want that thing because it looks like something, you know. And I still experience that now. People that know they that well, I wouldn't say that they can't afford me, but people know that I might not be within their budget. They still will shoot that shot. You
For
know what
sure.
I'm saying? They still gonna say, "Hey, Sean, hey, one day we gonna make
Right.
this work." You know, I don't know when, Sean, but
Right.
I'm coming back to you one of these days. You
Mhm.
know,
And that's a
and
great thing, like, that you just put years into your craft, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It
yeah,
shows, it always shows. Because
yeah,
I
and
don't really consider you I don't consider you a photographer, you just good with a camera. I really consider you a cinematographer, like, that's what you are.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you
I like doing it, man. And even with that, to hear you say it's like, oh, okay, cool, that's dope. But
right?
I'm like the person that's always like, oh, I mean, I guess, but of course you've I mean, we've been cool, we've been homies long enough, we've been
Mhm.
friends and working counterparts long
Right.
enough for you
Mhm.
to not only see stuff from afar, but you get a chance
Right.
to, literally work with me. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Was
Yeah.
you and I, me, you and Joel,
Right. Mhm.
so I know you get a chance to visually see me from a perspective that I can't see myself from.
Right. Mhm.
So to hear you say it,
Mhm.
um, it made me real appreciative of it because I don't never try to come off as a know-it-all,
Right.
but I will tell people straight up that I know a lot,
You do.
and I know a lot because, man, I run into walls weekly.
Mhm.
I'm that person that's not afraid to just turn on the light and try some shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because
right, right, right.
if I'm keeping it real, that's when you learn. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I feel like most people that I run into, they're afraid to try the stuff.
Yep. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, how do you get to that next step if you don't run into this wall first?
Right.
I
Mhm.
can tell you what to do, but
Yep.
what do you do when you can't call or text or DM me?
Right.
What do you do?
Right.
And what most people end up doing, they just end up not doing it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But then they're gonna
Oh,
also complain about, oh, my company's not growing. Oh, I'm
yep.
not learning more with this camera.
Mhm.
Oh, the gigs aren't coming. Oh, people don't want to pay me no more. No,
Mhm.
it's just that you lazy and
Right.
you need somebody to pat you on your ass every day of the week to tell you that it's
Mhm.
okay and that you're gonna be better. And you no, in all actuality, you probably not.
Right.
I don't want to be this bearer of bad news or this tough coach signing person, but you're not gonna
Right.
get better because you won't even give yourself a chance to grow. You
Mhm.
know, it's not about somebody just telling you what to do to get on the next step. It's more so about you learning because when you learn that stuff,
Mhm.
bruh, it's inside you then. It's not
Right.
inside the person who told you.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? So it's like you can't do what they do because you don't know how to do what it is that
Right.
they do. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And
Right.
even with my social media page, bro, I try to show people as much stuff as
You do.
possible, as much BTS raw,
You
uncut
do.
stuff as
You do.
possible.
Yeah.
And bro,
Yeah.
you would be so amazed with how many people still hit me up and ask questions.
Yeah. Mhm.
And it's like, wait, are you asking me how to do something I just posted 2 days ago?
Right. Right. Mhm.
But you follow my stuff and you do.
Right.
Nah, no,
They
you
don't
don't.
know. Yeah.
You don't.
They don't
No, you
know.
don't.
They just think it's easy. They think it's
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
It's
Oh
not
no, they definitely think it's easy, and they just want somebody to tell them what to do.
really.
So it's like, yo, all right, you want me to tell you what to do? Here's a link. Pay
Right.
for this session. I'll tell you
Right.
everything you need to know.
Right. Right. And that's how
So
you got to business because I saw that you used to design flyers too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, 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 yeah. And even with that, bro, it's kind of like a cheat code now.
Right.
So crazy because I mean, I don't spend the money getting nobody to do my designs.
Right.
When people see that, it's always funny to get a DM like, um, yo, who do your layouts and stuff for you? I'm
Right.
like, me.
Right.
People just kind of like, wait, you do the designs and stuff?
Yep.
Wait, what
Mhm.
about when you had the pictures and your travel schedules and stuff? Yeah, yeah, I do all that stuff.
Right.
What about, when you do your classes and your one-on-one training sessions, the stuff you send out in the email blast, like all that stuff? I'm like, I do all of it.
All of it.
I do all of it, so it's like, I mean, it's still a gift and a curse.
Mhm.
It's a gift because yeah, I saved the money. And I don't have to go back and forth with nobody. It's kind of like I agree with myself. I like this, cool, we're gonna
Right.
put it out.
Mhm.
The curse part is that it still takes time.
Mhm.
So it's like, hey, I'm saving money, but I'm losing time. The
Right.
bad part about the losing time is you never get that back.
Right.
The good part about the money, you can spend it, but you can always make more money. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like it's a gift and a curse, but I'm still kind of like in a place now where I'm enjoying it a little bit more because a lot of times I have random ideas and I like to just go and put
Mhm.
stuff together and create, fabricated fake stuff at the moment, but it always end up being something like a week or two later, like, oh shoot, you know what? I just did this fake video the other day, man.
Right.
Let me record it for real today.
Right.
Or like if I show my iPhone right now, bro, you'd be like, bro, do you have enough notes?
Right.
Because every day, bro, I'm having ideas and I'm trying to figure out stuff and come up with pitches, and I come up with companies that I want to try to pitch to see if they looking for brand ambassadors. So all that stuff is like ideas that come in my mind, bro. But as soon as I have another thought, it's gone. It's like,
right.
Hey, what I think about earlier, I really meant to, jot that down because I didn't want to forget about that.
Right.
So it's just it's a lot. It's still a lot, but yeah, being able to do the designs, I can't front. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Right. But yeah, I don't typically do them for clients anymore. Unless it's like I still have projects where I do design for clients, but I mean, with what I charge them now to do designs inside of video projects, I'm cool with still doing designs for them.
Right.
So yeah, that's just kind of that part.
Also, like, admire like how you separate like your personal life from your businesses and stuff like that. But I do notice about one thing from your personal life, which we also have like in common. You ride bikes. You know? Yeah. So like, how does that help like your creative process?
Let's see. How do I want to say this? Because I really want people to understand it when they hear it. The whole cycling thing and riding the bikes is, to be honest with you, bro, it has nothing to do with my creative process, but also has everything to do with it. But I'll tell you what I mean by that. What I mean is when I'm riding a bike, getting miles in, getting that sweat in, I try to do it early in the morning. The reason why I feel like it still helps with my creative process is because it gives me this release away from being anything creative.
Right.
And I feel like everybody need that space in some way, shape, or form. I don't care if it's 2 minutes to yourself. I call it me time. Right. If you see my stories, and I'm always pushing people like, yo, get me time, because for years I didn't really pay that no attention. I wasn't really looking out for self at all. I wasn't thinking about Sean. It was always head down, hustle, head down, hustle, head down, hustle, head down, and hustle. It's like if you always got your head down and you always hustling, man, you look up and the tank is like beyond the E mark.
Yeah.
And it's nothing worse with trying to get somebody to bring you a gas tank and you chilling on the side of the road or need a jump. Like you literally helpless for that time. And there's nothing that you can do about it. Right. So over the years, I eventually started to find me time for Sean. And riding a cycle, man, it was something random. And bro, it started being like the best thing ever, and I went from riding in hooping shorts and baggy shirts to now I'm out there looking like I'm
professional.
My homeboy them gonna call me Sean Armstrong. They gonna clown me, but I got it too, man. I'm like, yo, I mean, I like it a whole lot, but it's more so. It more so helps me because it gives me a release. When I'm on the bike, man, it just. I don't want to sound cliche with that. Be like, oh, it's no worries. It's not that it's no worries. Because it's still life. But for that hour or for that 2 hours that I'm out there punching out miles, burning calories, man, it definitely give me a different feel. To be like, all right, it's cool. And then after that, by the time get in, unclip, take the shoes off, shower, get some food. Mentally, I'm just kind of in another space. Then, I'm kind of like, all right, yeah. What we gonna get done today? I'm kind of thinking like that. And the same goes for me doing the exercises in the morning. I don't care if I get 30 minutes in on the jump rope, do 500 spins, do 1,000 spins, and that's it for the day. It still give me a chance to sweat, get some me time, and let Sean just kind of wrangle his thoughts or just release negative thoughts from the day before, the week before, or whatever. So I feel like the place I am now in life, I feel like that's something that's a tad bit important. Just having some me time.
Great. And that's a great note to end. Sean, I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Give everybody your socials and your website where people can book you for all your services and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, you can find any and everything on my website, www.seanwoodsmedia.com, SEANWOODS.com. Social media, Instagram is at Sean Woods Media. Same thing on TikTok. I'm a TikToker now, bro.
Me too, bro. I'm trying to get there.
Bro, I'm trying, bro. bro, it's enough work with Instagram, you know.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's like, okay, but great news about Instagram though. I'm now monetized as of yesterday. So
amazing, great.
yeah,
great,
so
great.
I'm kind of geeked about that, and you know, it's a post on the way.
Right, right.
Probably gonna record right after we done. It's gonna probably get recorded.
Right.
So, so you know it's on the way. But yeah, man, it's that's the website, SeanWoodsMedia.com, and Sean Woods Media on all other platforms, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. They can find me there, and email me, whatever, man.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want y'all studios to look like how it is in this video, if you're listening, watching right now.
Yeah, look, we ain't touching
that's
that.
What he does.
Yeah. I do those home installs too. So get that.
Yep. It's not, gotta bring a bag. You know what I'm saying, from a boy.
That gonna cost you a little bag, but
right. So I appreciate this, Sean. Thank you, and signing out.
Ain't nothing. Appreciate it, man.
Hey everyone, I hope everybody enjoyed this podcast. I definitely enjoyed it. We had to do it over Zoom, and I really, really liked this podcast. Had a bunch of laughs, and hopefully y'all did too. But most importantly, I hope y'all learned a lot of things in this podcast. So, until the next episode, see you soon.